We are back with Anna-Kaye Chisolm Price of Baker's Delight Limited. Anna, good afternoon and welcome to CWS as it is.
Hi. It's great to be here.
I actually like the way your lighting works in your face. That's
Oh.
amazing. Well, thanks for taking the time to come on to CWS as it is. And could you tell us a little bit about who you are and what was your first introduction to the business you're in?
All right. Well, like you said, my name is Anna-Kaye Chisolm Price. Um, I am I recently started with my family business.
Mhm.
So that's how I got introduced to it. My father started the business in 1988. So I recently joined in January 2013. So it's a family bakery in a neighborhood. We service the neighborhood and the community. We also do expand outside of the community, but our primary thing is breads, cakes. We've recently expanded into cooked food, serving lunch and breakfast, which goes into dinner because we do have our customers that come in for lunch at 8:30 at night. So
Wow.
yeah, so
What
it's
what
dinner.
when did you ever imagine that you would be part of this business someday?
Yes, I mean, growing up, I was inclined to the business background. My father was a banker before he started. Actually, he did banking and the bakery at the same time. So I grew up knowing it. I grew up knowing the business, and I was always intrigued by it. And I have an older sister, and I said to her, you know what? You can have the house in the will. I'll take the business. You know. So I knew I was destined to be a part of it, one way or the other.
Uh-huh.
So
So three years. What
yes.
what 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 were you doing actually before you made this transition?
Well, after I left school, because I am very artistic. So I have a business mind, but I have an artistic mind. So marketing kind of fit that category. So I decided I wanted to see what the corporate life was like. I wanted to put on the suit and go to meetings and things like that. So I left school. I went to school in Toronto, moved back to Jamaica, and I joined. It was Life of Jamaica at the time, which is now Sagicor, which is a Caribbean household name at this
Yes.
point, right? So I joined Sagicor in their employee benefits division doing marketing. So I did that for 7 years, 7, 8 years, and
Wow.
then I just said, you know what? All right, thanks for the corporate experience. It's time to go. And I switched over into baking.
What was it like when you first got there? Did you have any regrets? Was it more than you anticipated or less than you anticipated? What was that experience like?
When I got to the bakery,
Yes.
it was more than I anticipated. I I thought it would be simple. I thought I could go in there and say, well, this is what we do. But then I said, the getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I was not used to that because we open at 6. So the early mornings, it's very taxing on the body.
Uh-huh.
It's physically challenging, even though I'm not physically lifting and baking. It's really physically challenging. Um, the heat. Remember, I'm coming from an office,
Right.
going into a bakery. that was something, and the customers. That's the number one thing. The clientele is completely different. The environment is completely different. So it was a shock to me. What I expected is not what I went into, but
This is so intriguing, I should say. Here you are in the corporate world, and lots of things are kind of streamlined. You have a certain type of clientele. You're accustomed relating to people a certain way, and then you make this drastic transition into another environment where you meet all kinds of people really, coming in there, they're hungry, they really don't care about your
yeah,
problems and your issues. Look, I want
yeah.
beef patty or whatever. How did you make that adjustment personally to, deal with the different personalities that will confront you on a daily basis?
To tell you the truth, I'm still dealing with it. I it never, I cannot say I've perfected anything because, I mean, obviously working in insurance, you're dealing with executives. Well, I was dealing with executives, VPs, persons internationally. So
Uh-huh.
you speak properly and now I'm dealing with grassroots. I'm dealing with people because where we're located is right in front of uh, a high traffic area of buses. So we're dealing with a lot of foot traffic. So I would say about 95% of our business is foot traffic. So you're dealing with the real local market, right?
Yes.
So I can't go in there and say, "Hi, good afternoon." They look at you a little strange. So I had to reach down for my patois, I had to get real with them. I had to really, So that's how I have to. I'm not saying I'm getting down to their level.
Right.
I'm trying to treat a level thing, but like when I employ new girls to come and work on my front line, the number one thing I say to them is because everybody can speak standard English. It's just a matter of if they want to, they get lazy and, get into the hardcore patois kind of thing. And I said to them, what I found with interaction with our customers is if you speak nicely to them and you smile and, they come at you aggressive, lady, don't say I have bus to catch, whatever. And, you kind of smile and you say, sir, I'm so sorry. I hope you have, treat them really nice. They actually leave smiling or it's all right, lady, it's all right. You're good. It's no longer this aggression that they walk in with. So I try and change the culture a little bit, especially on my front line, to be like, hey, you speak properly to them, you give them the respect, you don't go back with the backlash, don't the aggression that they give you, you don't give them to say, yo, Malcolm, or ignore them. Because that's very typical. Very, very typical behavior. I even witnessed it for myself going into somebody else's establishment just Friday, where because they're so annoyed with how they're being treated and, you have to manage with being understaffed, for example. So you have that annoyance on the back end, and then the customer comes to you with their annoyance. It doesn't make sense because you're going like this.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of dealing with personality, keeping that customer service friendly face, and just so that's what I think I bring it to.
So respect is very important. Respect is very important.
Oh, it is. Definitely. But there are times where the customer themselves do cross that line.
Right.
Where I even have to step in and say to them, sir, I didn't like how you spoke to my girls.
Yes.
Disrespectful. Can you please not do that? But at the same time, customer is always right. Yes. But there is a fine line. There's a line that you just don't cross.
What was the most humbling experience you've ever had?
In this business?
Yes.
Humbling. Wow. Actually, it's okay. So my father, he is a man of very few words. I don't know how to describe him. He's one of those people that don't do things for show. Okay. So there's many times that I find out things about him through people coming back to say, do you know what your father did for me? He'll never talk about what he does for people. And so I think the most humbling thing is persons will come in that we have this gentleman, for example. I've always known him to come and fix cupboards or whatever, carpenter. And he came to me one day and he's like, you know what? Whatever your father or this business needs, I will always do it. Do you know why? And I said, no. And he said to me that while my dad was in banking, he he wanted to. Him and his wife, and I think 2 kids at the time, were living in a room in a house, and they were having serious problems. They wanted to buy a house and they couldn't. But my father saw potential in this man, and he said to him, "Go and find somewhere you want to buy, somewhere you think you can buy that kind of thing." And he said, "Okay, fine." And he came back and he identified the property. And my father helped him own his own house that he could put his family in. And I think hearing those stories and hearing it from the community, that's why people keep coming back.
Wow.
So I think that's the most humbling thing, just hearing the stories, hearing what the company itself represents, because it represents my dad. Yeah.
How did he react when he realized that you decided to come into the business?
Okay, you remember I said he's a man of little words, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just keep that one in mind. So, what he said to me personally was, "Oh, okay." Kind of, yeah, sure. And then that's when I heard the stories from other people. Your father tell him, "Come, you're taking over," and he's happy, and like I said, I get the but then I hear from other people the true excitement.
But the stories that you hear about him and your experiences in this particular business, this environment, have you developed a new and stronger appreciation for the man your father is?
Oh God, yes. Actually, from before, but more now.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Because he has that banking mind, that financial mind. He understands a lot. He understands how the economy is. He understands the environment that we're working with in a financial way and the impacts, and then applies it to the business.
Mm-hmm.
So even as simple as picking suppliers, for example, he knows those little ins and outs that I've been trying to understand and trying to learn, and hoping to God I learn it.
so here you are on the study mode, and with the intention to take this business to another level. If you had your way, what is one immediate change you would make?
If I had my way today?
Yes. If Daddy said, "Look, this is totally yours, you could do whatever you want," what is one immediate change?
Right now, I'd like to take it to a more automated way of doing things. Right now, when I first started, we had things. We didn't have one of the menu boards and so on. And then in December, we recently went to digital menu boards and things like that. But I want to be able to take things more automated. Our ticketing system, so that people get served fairly, that kind of thing. Also, just bringing it up, bringing it more 21st century in terms of the back end work.
When your quiet moments, or whenever you think about the 3 years that you've been there, who is or you look in the mirror and you're reflecting, who is the Anna-Kaye that you see today that is different to the Anna-Kaye when she first started? How different are you?
Wow. I have friends that would comment. And they said to me, "Boy, it's like you're not even a girl." I do everything. I mean, I can. Whereas I was a person that could walk into a boardroom and speak, I am now the person that can walk into a factory and deal with somebody that is lifting flour. I think I've become more versatile, definitely. And I just think it's just made me a more rounded person.
You know,
I don't get intimidated
wow.
by having to go down to the local market.
Uh-huh.
Or some of my friends are like, "Are you serious? You're going down to the local market by yourself?" I say, "Yeah, that's why I have to buy goods. That's not buying supermarket
You
prices."
know, so you think you've become stronger, more courageous?
I have to.
You have to.
I
You,
have to.
you know, I'm sitting here and I'm listening to you and describe the contrast, and I can't help but recognize how very compelling the stark contrast is. Here's this young lady in the boardroom and dressed corporately, and then here she is in the market among the locals, shifting her language and her cadence to
Oh
be
yeah.
understood and so on. That is fascinating to me. What
I
about?
mean,
Uh-huh.
my husband. Well, he's highly annoyed by it, but because of my job, I wear Crocs every day. Polo shirt, jeans, and Crocs. And he's like, "You and these Crocs." That's what I gotta do. So I bought the dressier Crocs. So when I have to go into the bank, it doesn't look so bad.
No, now you're here. What do you think makes Baker's Delight special?
Oh, Baker's Delight is special because it's just become a little household name in our community that we operate in. It's cute actually.
Uh-huh.
Um, Nobody knows what the name is. Let's just know. But I found that somebody says, "Hey, where do you work or where is your business?" And I tell them exactly where it is, and they're like, "Oh, the patty shop." Like the patty shop, price right, and everybody has a story. They used to live in that neighborhood at one time or another. People that I never even knew lived in the area, friends of mine, but they all know it.
What
So
is? Uh-huh.
it's I find it cute. I
Yes.
find it.
What is one story you've heard that reminds you that you're on the right path, that your father made the right decision in 1988, that the people you are responsible for, the people who work for this business, that it is worth getting up every morning and doing this? What is one story you have heard that really resonates with you?
Let's see. There's so many stories though.
We can come back to this one. Oh,
I
you found
think
it?
it's I think it's more hearing the stories of people when they're younger, meaning when they were in prep school, primary school,
Wow.
and they say, I remember coming every weekend and getting a cupcake to, I used to get whatever pastry item put in my lunchbox. And they hold on to those memories. And then they have their own kids and they come in with their kids. And the kids start buying and so on. So it becomes a generational thing.
What
Like
really
here.
what excites you about this particular business? What makes you, all right, let me rephrase this question a little bit. For those days when you don't feel like getting up, and this is a big assumption, you don't feel like getting up and doing what you have to do. But who or what gets you out of that mindset?
Honestly,
Yes,
my dad.
your dad.
Yeah, because he's still there. He's still there. Our business is open 7 days a week, and I I ultimately want him to retire. I do.
Ah,
And the days that I don't feel like getting up, I'm like, do you know that this man is there? He's been there since 4 this morning, and you're still in bed. Get
wow,
up, get up and go. You
wow.
know, and that's what gets me up. I mean,
Does he know how you feel about him in terms of how much of a beacon in this particular business he is to you? Does he know?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
That's interesting, It that is very interesting. And what is one particular quality about him as a business owner that you really admire?
Wow. It, I don't know how to answer that. I think his knowledge really.
Uh-huh.
I'd have to say that his knowledge. I don't think I'll ever know. I'll never.
I
I'll
am
never do everything. You know what I mean?
You know what it is? I have a confession to make. Um, it is these questions are because of you. And telling the story of you and your father, and telling the story of people relaying their experiences with him, and what a benefactor he has been, what a very um, helpful person he has been within the community. And as a result of that, I find myself drawn into this story, and that is why and please forgive me if I'm putting you on the spot, but it is fascinating to hear you say, "Well, my dad, he he gets up early in the morning, and
Mm-hmm.
he's been there since 4. How dare I stay in bed?" You know. So if I took a little bit of liberty with that, please forgive me. But I just I wanted to get from you some more about this amazing man who, in 1988, started this business, and his daughter took a leap from the corporate world, from being a banker to becoming a baker, and you enjoy it. And that is a fascinating story, especially for young people who are listening here to you this evening and realizing that they can do something that they want to do, something that might be different.
Yeah,
See,
it's never too late. I mean, like I said, he retired. I think it was 2007. 2007 he retired. So he was working at the bank and also doing this bakery thing, and it required so much dedication. What he used to do was he used to go to the bakery at 4 o'clock in the morning, come back home by after 6 or 7 to get ready to go to his corporate job, leave his corporate job 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and then go back to the bakery till 9 o'clock at night and do it every single day.
you
That's what
find
he did for
you,
years.
you must find it very difficult to complain, do you?
I can't complain. You know,
If
it
you
worries me a little bit, but
if you had it all, if you had the opportunity, the business, as you say, the bakery is more automated. Things are going well like a well-oiled machine, as best as it can. And you had the opportunity to start some other business. What else would you like to try?
hmm, wow. Let's see. I'm not sure. I probably planning. Actually, so on top of this will also keeps me busy. On top of the bakery business, we do real estate as well. I
Real
should add
estate.
that.
Wow.
Baking is my primary job. My father and I also have an investment business, so that also keeps me very occupied.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So we do commercial properties and so on. So I'm very busy, you know.
I realize that. For the past few weeks, I realize how very busy you are.
Yeah.
That is why I'm so grateful you found the time you took the time to spend it with us this afternoon. But I want to put you on the spot again before we get off.
Sure.
All right. So you left the
Hmm.
corporate world. with all your experience and so on in insurance and dealing with these sophisticated individuals, and here you are in this environment as a baker, and okay, real estate, but you're mostly a baker. What did you bring from that arena that really helps you in the bakery? And if you were to go back into the corporate world, what do you think your experiences now would help with, how do you think it will help you in the corporate environment?
Um, okay, so what did I bring? Well, on one hand, I think what I brought from the corporate world was a level of customer service, and I wouldn't like to say sophistication, but
Yeah, you can say it.
yeah,
It is what it is.
just trying to tell my staff that, listen, um, certain things that they do, because we do hire within the community,
Uh huh.
and we hire young girls to work in our frontline, and a lot of them, I know it's a stepping stone for them. I'm not staying there forever. It's a start a job, that kind of thing. And I kind of have to say to them, guys, it's work ethic. I think that's what it is. Work ethic that I'm trying to teach them. That, listen, things that you may do here, if you're looking for that corporate job, that that thing that you're aspiring to, certain things can't happen. You need to have a certain amount of code of conduct, and so I think I bring that to them, that outside experience, almost a peek into a different world. Like I said, these people, a lot of them, some of them just left high school, no other working experience, they don't know the office jobs, that kind of thing, come from rural communities up in the hills. They don't know that side of the world. Try and teach them that. But if I go back into corporate now, I think what I'd bring from this side is understanding the customer. Okay, so I was in insurance. You sit in a boardroom, you try and make insurance packages and things for a clientele that you may not necessarily know much about. So I know or I've been on that side, knowing, okay, well, this is what's most important. This is how people may feel. This is how they may react to certain things. I think it's just being on the other side of the fence.
I hear that. I want to
Uh,
go to the chat room and oh, was there something else?
no.
Okay. And Nick MacD said Anna-Kaye can be credited for taking her family business out of the dark ages. She's doing innovative things. Kudos to her. Well,
Thanks, Nick.
if yeah, Nick is an amazing fellow. Anna-Kaye, I have to say this to you. The time went by a little too fast.
um,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Oh, look at the time.
Yes. Thank you very much.
No
And
problem.
much success with your business.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Good
It was a
night.
pleasure being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Good
Bye,
night.
everyone.
Bye bye.